Hello and welcome to this short video about Jaguar XK8 checking BBS alloy wheel tyre pressures. This is video 92 in my series of XK8 videos. In this video I'm going to examine the BBS alloy wheel tool kit, and I'm going to show you a bit about the BBS alloy wheel valves, etc., and finally how I checked the tyre pressures on my BBS alloy wheel. If you've got one of these wheels, basically Jaguar Performance BBS alloy wheels, either Milan, Paris, Detroit, Sepang, Montreal or Perseus, this might be of interest to you. I'm going to explain the video in 5 sections. Section 1, I'm going to review the BBS Tool Kit with part numbers. Section 2 then, I'll look at the BBS Bolt Valve in a little bit of detail. Section 3, the BBS Valve Adaptor and how it works. Section 4, the correct hose fittings and why some fittings don't work. And then section 5, I'll just do a quick run through of me checking and inflating the tyre, just so you get an idea of how it works. If you're watching this video, you're probably interested in Jaguar XK8s or Jaguar XKRs, X100s. If you are, mine to suggest you subscribe to my channel by pressing the rectangular red subscribe button with subscribe written on it, clicking the bell to be reminded when videos are aired, and click the thumbs up if you like the video or thumbs down if you don't. And if you have any questions or comments, please ask them in the comment section below the video. Okay then, first section, the BBS wheel toolkit. When you get your alloy wheels brand new, you'll be supplied with this toolkit and high performance dipsticks, etc., etc. But just looking at this toolkit, which is part number MXD6166AB, you should have got 2 adapters or a pair of adapters, MXD6163AB, a pair of spare dust caps, MXD6136AA, and a spare key, MXD5164AA. Unfortunately, my toolkit's obviously been hanging around quite a while. 25 years later, I'm left with 1 adapter and the key. Oh well, I need to restock, I think. Section 2 then, the BBS Bolt Valve. This is basically the bolt valve taken out. The part number is 09.51.071. That's the BBS part number. The dust cap, as I said before, is MXD6137AA, but there's also the BBS part number there. These are basically manufactured either in titanium or stainless steel, and they're used as a valve and a bolt, so that the valve is basically hidden as one of the other retaining bolts around the rim of the split rim. To remove one of these valves, you need to remove the dust cap and insert a 12-point spline tool to remove the bolt. The bolt has an M10 by 1mm pitch thread on it, and at the bottom, the main seal is an O-ring at the bottom of the valve, which I'll show you where it sits on the alloy wheel in a moment. Now these bolt valves are common for Jaguar VAG RS2 and BMW BBS alloy wheels, so they're quite easy to get hold of. If you have a look at the valve, you can see the back of the actual valve insert there, the nice dust cap. If I just take the key and undo it, quite easy to undo, don't over tighten them. You'll see there's a nice rubber gasket on the back. This is a new one, looks nice and clean. Nice job. They're not cheap though, so don't lose them. Look at the valve then, you can see the 12-point spline fitting and the Schrader valve inside. Where the valve fits on the wheel then, I'll just unscrew this temporarily. These are the BBS, typical of BBS split rims. They're basically 2-part split rim. There is a third part which is a stainless steel rim, but that's not much. You'll see the thread there, and there's a small parallel bit at the back. Before, I'll just put the valve back in, before the hole exits inside the rim. There, you see. So basically the O-ring is the main seal for this valve. So you have a leaky valve, it's either the Schrader insert or Schroeder insert, or it's that little O-ring at the back. The actual inner rim and the hub, that is just basically a clearance hole, and that's why we call it a bolt valve, because partially it's a valve and partially it's also a bolt holding that rim in place. There you go, that's basically how most of the BBS alloys work in the case of Jaguar performance alloys. Section 3, BBS Valve Adaptor. So you get one of these in your kit. The adapter number is 09.51072, or the Jaguar number is MXD1663AB. If we have a look at this in a bit of detail, my worn out one, you can see the parallel lines here, which we'll come into in a moment, and there's an O-ring on the back to help sealing it when you're inflating. All looks in reasonable nick, it's obviously been used. And if you push the front, you can see the insert moving inside, and that's how it basically actuates a Schrader valve. It presses in that adapter, and then that presses on the valve inside the wheel. And that's basically how the adapter works. Now if you take it and connect it to a valve, again, whenever you're connecting these adapters, just do them hand tight. If I press that in, I should be able to see that valve moving slightly in the back of the valve. There you go, just about see it moving, and that's allowing air to pass and the tyre to inflate. When you take the valve off, obviously the Schrader valve inside seals up again. Section 4 then, corrects hose fittings, because some people get mixed up. I'm using a tyre valve here, but it's the same valve. So if you get particularly with these electric pumps, you get these sort of fittings, but it doesn't work, these threaded fittings, it doesn't work with these adapters, because those parallel lines aren't threads, they're just actually grooves for a hose fitting like this, which has a blade to grip on to the threads, or in the case of the adapter. So that's how you would do it with a normal tyre. That little blade grips, but now on the adapter it basically grips on those parallel grooves. You can see it's pushed in that tiny insert in the middle, so it actuates the valve. Now I believe, I can only assume that they haven't threaded these adapters because they don't want them getting stuck, because it's all supposed to be hand tight, so you don't want them fighting against or tightening up too tightly to the actual alloy wheel, not be able to get it off. Section 5 then, a quick run through of me checking and inflating one of my wheels. Not the greatest continuity with this, I'll let you know in advance. So first of all, locating that valve. You can go along and you're looking for that cap. There it is. But the big clue is that BBS marking. Where the BBS casting mark is, the valve will be right next to it. So top tip, just look for the BBS emboss, and that's where the valve will be. It'll be right next to that. Removing with the valve cap with a key. They should only be hand tight, just enough to stop them coming out when you're driving along. Don't overdo it because it will cause problems. It's a lot easier doing this with two hands, believe you me. If you have a wide screwdriver, it's even quicker. But you've got to be watched you don't damage them. There you go. There's the valve off. It's as easy as that. You can see my valve is actually a little bit corroded. These are quite old wheels. Then fitting the adapter, again, not to overemphasize, only hand tight, just enough to compress that seal on the inside there to seal it. There you go, hand tight. You don't want to get that thing stuck in there. Then finally then checking with a tyre gauge. Just push it on. There you go. Oh, a bit underinflated here. That's the subject of another video. Don't leave your tyres too long without checking them. And then basically you can inflate them with your tyre adapter. There you go. Then finally check it again. We're a bit better. Might need to put a little bit more in. A bit better. We're getting there anyway. So there you go. Get the idea. Then hopefully you've not tightened up too tight. You can just pull it out. Put the cap back on. Tighten that up again. Get it so far, and then use the key. If you can find the key. You can see the end of this key is slightly bent. I think somebody's been a bit over enthusiastic. I think I'll bend that back afterwards. I think if you're bending the key like that, twisted the end there, those things are on a bit too tight. Again, just nip it up, not too tight. You want to get it off again at some point. And finally, another top tip. Put the stuff away and put it somewhere you can find it, because if you lose those adapters and you have a tyre that's a little bit flat, you're going to be in trouble. There you go, and store it somewhere in the car where you know it's handy. So there you go, 5-section BBS Tool Kit, BBS Bolt Valve, BBS Valve Adaptor, the correct hose fittings, and checking and inflating your BBS alloy wheel. Hope you find that useful. If you've got a BBS alloy on your Jaguar, hopefully it gives you a bit of better understanding how these things are supposed to work and how they're constructed. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe if you'd like to see more XK videos.